So, for many who are interested in the spectacle of sports, a couple of nights ago the ESPYs came on, and that was a special moment with LeBron James and him and his family taking the stage all at the same time. And LeBron had some comments to say. He basically said that even though he knew people loved and hated him equally, he said that no matter what, you guys owe him, and by you guys, he means everybody in the crowd, everybody who watches sports, the whole shebang, owe him respect for what he's done to and for the game of basketball, his approach to the game, and one day we'll all respect him for his approach to the game. And I think I agree with that. That's a pretty, that's, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Demanding your respect for being a superstar in the game, I feel like every star does that every once in a while, but online, after these statements, I saw hate. People saying he'll never be MJ. This is why he'll never be the greatest. People saying if you have to ask for respect, that's a part of you not being the greatest player of all time. Even calling him a narcissist, like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant didn't have narcissistic tendencies. So that's the intro I have for you guys today. The ESPYs and talking about LeBron James and how I think us as sports fans and even fans in other realms, may it hip-hop, music, you're talking about business, we all have an appreciation problem, especially when somebody becomes so good at what they do that the expectation just skyrockets through the roof and nothing is good enough for us. Before I get into this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications because it help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, for just a little bit of backstory, I'm going to tell you a little story, and this is for all the people who don't have or may not have any respect for this man, LeBron James. Now, just imagine you're born in one of the poorest parts of your city. This kid does not have a father. He doesn't have an important man in his life. His mother is struggling. At the same time, at a young age, he's asked to transfer school after school. Of course, he's missing school in the process. He has to wake himself up in the morning and spend nights at coaches' houses. However, despite all of the drawbacks, despite not having a father figure in his life, and trust me, from my experience, I can understand how important a father figure is. I do have my father figure in the household, and I could not be more grateful to have something like that. And it just really points to the challenge, the bigger challenge that a man growing up in a poor community, not having a father figure, that could be a big, big challenge. And I just want to point that out. This kid, however, despite all the challenges, turns out to be really good at basketball, despite him not even being recognized as the best basketball player in his community until high school. This kid is a 6'9", 250-pound freak. He becomes the most hyped prospect ever in sports. He's on Sports Illustrated as a 16-year-old. For scale, I'm 17, and I'm nowhere near Sports Illustrated. Teams are fighting to lose games. They're calling this man the savior of the franchise. Mind you, the pressure is mounting up and up, higher and higher. He gets drafted number 1 by his hometown team, and by his second season is dang near the best player in the NBA. Just 2 years out of high school, he ends up breaking a scoring record, which years ago people declared was unbeatable. He piles up 10,000 rebounds and assists on top of that. He manages to win 4 championships with 3 different franchises. He's a 4-time MVP, and the only name you can have him, or the only names you can have him next to, are the greatest players of all time, and that's it. This is a guy that, with all the pressure he had, if he became a 10-time All-Star and scored 20,000 points, it would have been seen as a failure. And that's crazy to think. If LeBron James came into the league, won no championships, no MVPs, no nothing, but was just a 10-time All-Star and 20,000 points in the NBA, which is a Hall of Fame career, by the way, he would have still be seen as a failure. That would have been a failure for LeBron James. That's a Hall of Fame career, and that would have been a failure. I just want to really get to the point that the disrespect that LeBron James gets, because he's so good at what he does, it almost makes no sense. I mean, you guys can hate LeBron all you want. You can say you don't like him. You can say you don't like the way he approaches the game. All of that is totally under your control. But one thing you can never call this man is a failure. You can hate him. You can dislike him. You could choose to say, I don't like the way he approached the game, think he should be more aggressive. You can say all of that. But you have to have a certain amount of respect for the amount of pressure, for the amount of talent, for the amount of things that this guy had to go through to get here. And even if you don't respect him on the basketball court, look at his family. He takes times to raise his sons and daughter. His wife is happy. He keeps his family happy. He makes time for that, while at the same time making time for the workload it takes to be one of the greatest players to ever play in NBA history. You have never seen anything like the man. You haven't seen anything like LeBron James, and you probably won't for the next million years, for a millennial. And we still, as a media, find a way to disregard and disrespect this guy. And it's not just him. I'm going to point to what happened to Kwame Brown a couple years ago, just to go to a sort of different topic. Because as the media, we do have a respect problem. We do have an appreciation problem. Despite the man being number 1 overall outside of high school, being drafted to a team that had Michael Jordan on it, mind you, imagine how nervous that makes a player. The greatest player of all time, you have to play alongside him. You're held to a certain standard. Despite him having a 10-year career, being richer than most of everybody's bloodlines who's watching this video, let's just keep it realistic here. Despite all of that, we as a public still have the audacity to label this man as a bust. This guy, mind you, is wealthier than probably all your family members combined. This guy has set his family up for life. He doesn't have to do anything else. Had a 10-year career in the NBA, and we still label this guy as a bust. He didn't turn out to be the greatest NBA player, but can you really label a millionaire who got a chance to play with the greatest competition in basketball in the land? Somebody who changed his family's life from the point to where he was drafted, who played with one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player of all time. Can we really label that guy as a failure? I don't think so. And I think with LeBron, it's on a greater level because this guy has filled up. He has passed all of these expectations, and we still find a way not to credit him. We still find ways to knock him down. He's been to 10 championships, but he's only won 4. What? What about the part where the guy went to 10 championships? 10 championships. And most of those championships he took horrible teams to, but that's a discussion for another day. But my whole point is, in wrapping this up, we have got a severe appreciation problem as a media. We've got to step back and really look at these players' lives, really look at these players' accomplishments. It is a 1 in 1 billion chance that somebody makes it to the NBA. There are 8 billion people that live in the world and maybe 300 players in the NBA, and that's a high guess. That's the best of the best. Anybody who makes it into that club cannot be called a bust, a disappointment, nothing. That's just for people who make it. For anybody who's at the top in the upper echelon, they deserve nothing but respect. And the amount of disrespect that LeBron James gets is absolutely ridiculous to me. And he's not my favorite player of all time. I've been a Hawks fan, man. I had to watch LeBron James for the greater part of 15 years terrorize the Eastern Conference. The Hawks he went to the finals. They barely got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They ran into the Heat. I had to watch LeBron dunk on Paul Millsap and Al Horford and Jeff Teague and all of them. I'm not the biggest fan of this guy at all. He has caused me more heartbreak than ever. But what I can do is respect him. I can respect that he makes time for his family. He seems to be a great father figure. He's setting a fantastic example for the people who are going to come after him. I can respect that this guy is one of the best that the game has ever seen. I can respect that this guy has broken countless records. I can respect that this guy has worked his absolute butt off. Despite his circumstances, despite being born at a disadvantage, he has worked his butt off to become arguably the greatest NBA player of all time. You can only mention maybe 5 players who are in a category with this man. You guys, and I'm speaking to everybody here, you guys don't have to like anybody. But anybody who gets to that level of greatness in their field deserves your respect. Out of default, they deserve your respect. Because only a limited amount of people could ever do that. They deserve your respect. That's all I've got to say, though. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications because help me out a little bit. I have a Pink Tape album review coming out either tomorrow or Monday, because I think today is Saturday, actually. So either tomorrow or Monday, but either way, I wish you nothing but the best. Stay loved, stay blessed. I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching. And give people your respect, man. Come on. But thank you for watching.